ready, Teresa?
Yeah, I don't want to leave anybody out, you know?
You were asked on Watch What Happens Live who was going to be your bridesmaid.
Melissa will not be a bridesmaid.
No.
You know, a big part of the show is your relationship with your sister-in-law, Teresa.
Right.
And we talked about the wedding, the beautiful wedding, but you and Joe were not there.
Right.
What happened?
Listen, it's extremely sad, you know? It's one of those things where you never wish it on anyone. You never imagine that it's gonna happen. I think everyone will see why we made that decision. And I think that was honestly the best thing for my family at the time.
Whatever you want in your wedding is fine with me.
This is the thing, honey. We're not close.
Okay.
Like, you're my sister-in-law, but we're not close.
Understandable. Like, my heart's beating right now because it's kind of, like, sad for me.
What do you think will last longer, Joe's stand-up career or Louis and Teresa's marriage?
Wow.
Hold on, I want to hear what Gorga says. I'm going to answer the question. My stand-up career, baby. I said it.
Teresa, what's your response to Joe saying that his stand-up career would last longer than your marriage?
He's my brother, so I don't, hearing that was really hurtful to hear.
What was your
And
reaction?
I wish his comedy career is successful.
She showed how she really feels about both of us. It's like sad.
I think you say in the trailer that Melissa is or has kept you and Joe apart or is keeping you and Joe apart. Do you still believe that?
No. It's I think it's also my brother. This time, I have to say, this season I was just blown away by my brother. Yeah.
The episode is opening with this text message.
I'm fine not being the wedding. I don't want to get mad over Jennifer. I don't want you to get mad over Margaret. All good.
And she didn't answer you.
I know.
We left the reunion. I get that text message in the car driving home from the reunion.
That's bonkers.
After 15 hours of taping, after 15 hours of taping, and I just had surgery. I was so exhausted. I was in pain.
You had your appendix out.
Sitting there for all day. It was crazy. So I read her text. I was like, all right, good, cool. We're good. We're good.
Period. The end. It was matter of fact. There was no questions.
Yeah, there was no question mark. I'm like, all right, we're good. She's not mad at me for not being in the wedding. I'm not going to get mad at you for Jennifer. You don't get mad at me for Margaret. Perfect. Okay. Like, she never told me about a text message to start the season off that way. It was like so crazy to me.
And all of a sudden, I got a text inviting us to Teresa's 50th birthday on an island with her closest people to her.
You don't even want us at your wedding.
Really?
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts and questions and what the actual F's about this.
All right. So this is what I have to say about that. Oh my God. I gave birth on the show. I went to prison on the show. I got divorced on the show. I got married on the show. I buried my parents on the show. This is what I've done. And her story is I didn't return a text message. That's her storyline.
She just admitted what we really are, which is not close. And she's like, I have my people here now.
They filmed Antonia's Sweet 16 party. They didn't put it on Housewives. I don't know why. She had a main table. I was not sitting at her main table.
Yeah.
I was sitting with her nieces.
Listen, you're not gonna have your main people.
Did I make a big deal about that? Did I make a big deal? No, I did not. Wait, you guys got to keep watching the show to see the shenanigans that happened this whole season. Like, it's crazy. Your mind's gonna be fucking spinning. I swear to God.
That's why I can't answer the phone. I couldn't go to her birthday party. I am just so disappointed. It's like sad.
That's Melissa.
We have history, honey, me and you. And I love you very much, and I'm happy for you.
Of course, but
I think you should remember
like
what family is. I'm more your family than those girls you met 1 year ago. And it's very sad that you don't feel that way.
No.
I think there's more to it than that. I'm sure.
I don't feel close to you. Like, that's the thing.
But I have to be honest with you. Let's stop faking like we have a relationship, because you've proved to everyone that we don't.
My family came on the show behind my back, and that was the worst thing that I could have ever happened to me, because that's why I don't speak to Kathy anymore, because I'll never speak to her or Rosie ever again, because I don't want family like that. But my brother and Melissa for my parents, of course, I forgave them, and it is what it is. It's the truth.
It's
like
Lisa said to me one time, she goes, I've been through a lot in my life, and I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
One of the things that hurt me the most in my whole life, besides losing my mom, was my family coming on the show behind my back.
Was fame more important than family?
Okay, because I respect your question. First of all, I'm going to tell you all right now that the getting on behind the back thing is 100% false and untrue.
I get a phone call a week before season 3 was filming. Okay. Teresa calls me because I was her producer season 2.
Okay.
She said, "Oh my gosh, I just learned that my sister-in-law and my brother are cast members on this show. I did not know that until now."
True or not true, Teresa had no idea you were coming on the show.
Untrue. They inboxed me to interview her and I, which, by the way, they inbox all of my friends still right now looking for.
But all my friends, as soon as they get inboxed, they say.
Yeah, but you and I were not friends at all.
She had no idea.
And this is before the...
This is a week before filming we're supposed to commence.
This is before the famous other baptism.
Yes.
Which was Joe and Melissa's son's baptism.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, she had no idea. She called me, freaking out. What should I do? I don't know, Carla. This is crazy. That's my family. I don't want to fight with my family. She was freaking out.
Because she knew that the show required fighting at this point?
Well, I think she knew that at that time they probably weren't at the best place.
Oh.
But so when she said she was blindsided, what I can say to you is the truth that I know.
I do believe she was blindsided.
She had no idea.
That part I do believe she was blindsided.
She had no idea. She found out because they finally revealed to her, not they, the producers, that your sister-in-law and your brother are on the show. You have to go to this
christening.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there with
Which is the first day of filming. That's how she found out.
Second of all, because the show was The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and when they approached me to join, I took an opportunity. I auditioned. I took an opportunity just like every other girl on this couch and on our show, and like the Manzos and Jacqueline. And you can't let anyone tell you what to do or claim you. You have to live for you. You have to take, and I didn't come on to argue with anybody. So the truth is, you have to, if an opportunity comes your way, no one owns The Real Housewives of New Jersey, okay? We're gonna take an opportunity just like every single other person in this whole Jacob Javits Center did. So I'm not gonna let anybody stop us from something. And we did really make a decision together as a family. And Teresa 100% knew that we were getting on this show. It was never behind her back.
And Joe, you came back to the show. During the reunion, you walked off set, you quit, and you decided to come back. So what made you make that decision?
Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen talked me into it. I really didn't want to come back. It was done, you know, I'm tired. Family, I can't deal with the family drama anymore. It's like really, it's enough. I'm tired of it. You know?
I hear you, man. I know Teresa's wedding's coming up. Are you guys getting ready for it? Are you able to kind of push aside the drama to celebrate her and Louis? How's that all going?
Yeah, we can always push aside the family drama for a good wedding, right? Like, yes. And at the end of the day, everybody just wants to see Teresa happy. So I think we're going to see her happily ever after, finally. And I'm happy for her.
Me You Move On tweeted, "Why did you promise not to talk about the Giudices, only to go on Melissa's podcast to do just that? Do you really believe your nieces would have been homeless and not have food if it wasn't for you?"
It's just that we have a lot of memories, even if we're not close. When you were away, I was the one helping your mother pick up your girls and bring them to dance. You remember that.
Well, I didn't mean homeless. What I meant was we kept the show going.
Okay.
Because, you know, we went through a downfall, right?
Okay. Other people pointed out, though, that we did shut production for a while until Teresa came out.
Correct.
I feel like we haven't gotten out of the press in the last year, which is like, it's like
true.
Annoying. It's a little annoying. Like you want to, you don't want to constantly be.
You want to take a breather.
Yeah, you want a breather,
Yeah.
but we didn't get one this year.
And
it's not coming soon.
Another
unfair thing, that's true, is we film every summer. Does everyone know that? Like we haven't had a summer off in what, 6 years?
Yeah, I would say at least 4 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no summer vacation for us.
You think you know the real Teresa?
You know,
It's hard because we were close, but there was a side of you last year that was just so cutting and hurtful. I was like, who is this?
We got a lot of questions wanting to know, why are you so concerned with Teresa's love life? She never brings up anything about you.
Well, I wouldn't say she never brings up anything about me per se. I put it all out there right from the beginning, so I was very honest about it. I think I was very concerned right from the beginning because things did come out.
The ex-girlfriends are putting it out. They're bitter.
Right. These exes want to bury this guy.
No, it's because he's with Teresa Giudice. He's dating Teresa Giudice. That's why, okay, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Wow.
Margaret, it was week after week me hearing something negative about him. And it was all coming from you.
Now she's in the love bubble. Did you ever talk about Louis stuff with her?
No, she doesn't want to talk about it because she feels all of this is happening because of who she is. And she's so happy.
Listen, she is so happy. But what about allegations of abuse?
If you're concerned, there's a different way to go about it. You know, it's just like not constantly every week something new coming out. And it's like you're trying to shame us. You're trying to shame Louis. So if you're trying to shame Louis, then obviously you're trying to shame me too. You're hurting us. Because I'm telling you to stop. I don't care about his past. And we all have a past. I have a past.
Right.
No, I have a past. Like Louis could have judged me. Oh, right. No, and he didn't. You know, his family could have judged me. And they didn't, you know, they got to know the person. So that's all I kept saying is like, I focused on how he treated me, how he is with me, I'm not going to judge him on his past. Like that's, when you evolve in relationships. Like I know I'm probably a different person than I was with my ex now that I'm with Louis. Because he does have a calming effect on me. He does. He doesn't curse. He doesn't curse. I love the way he's so smart. And the way he speaks very, very eloquently, he does. And he does have a calming effect on me. I'm like, babe, you need to rub off on me more,
You talk to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Why? Because you said that I spread the rumors to the bloggers about Louis. Yes.
So last we heard you were having some drama with Teresa. Teresa was blaming you for Louis' gossip that was kind of...
Yes.
Were you leaking the gossip?
No, I was not leaking the gossip at all.
But you and the other ladies were talking about it.
Yeah, you know what? When things are out on social media and out there, of course, we discuss it. And it was out there everywhere, so of course, we discussed it. Yes, I'm not going to talk about it. You're trying to flex so no one talks about Louis. Let's talk about Louis. I don't want to talk about Louis.
You would have said, this is hurting me. Or like,
I did. I'm not happy about you talking about Louis. If you did have a concern, you should have came to me from the beginning.
No, you went crazy on me.
Because I thought you were my friend.
But you're a grudge holder. You are a grudge holder.
I'm not anymore. Okay. Well, because I'm working on myself.
But what about Melissa and Joe? I know there's issues.
Because of you. I got mad at them. I felt like my brother and Melissa should have said to you, nobody speaks badly about Louis.
But that's displaced.
Now, Joe Gorga, is a potential reconciliation with Teresa very real? What can you tease about the future?
Well, I'm just hearing in the press that she says there's no fixing our relationship. So she is the older one in our family. She's my older sister. And whatever she says goes.
I didn't get to talk to you, but Teresa had asked me to go to her house.
How did it go?
She said she was so devastated with everything that was coming out about Louis, and she was taking it out on me. Like, she was apologizing.
That was nice.
Which was good. And I said, if you displaced anger towards me, can't you admit that you would displace anger towards Melissa and Joe?
Yeah.
She said to me, point blank, you didn't say you're not to back Louis up.
Yes, like that, just like that, yep.
I didn't say one negative thing about Louis.
But she was upset about when she sent that text message, back Louis up when we were at your shore house. And I was like,
what did Louis say?
Louis was just like, he goes, that was a very insecure move on Melissa's part.
Insecure move on my part? He's calling me insecure?
I've done everything right. I really have. I've respected her. I loved her. I respected Louis. And my wife has respected her. And we're all about family.
In this trailer, we hear Teresa say, you know, like she's always wanted to like break up me and my brother, and now she's finally done that. How did that feel to hear that being said?
I think it makes absolutely no sense.
Mhm.
I mean, I think all of the years have shown that I've done completely the opposite. There were so many times that I've had to literally bring them together. You know, at the end of the day, it's such a sad situation for the whole family, for our kids. It's never something that I take lightly. I still, to this day, can't believe that this is where we're at. There's always hope, but it just feels like, honestly, like it was getting very toxic. And it just got to a point where, like, you know, you need to worry about your own family and stop worrying about everything else. And it's like taking too much energy, and it's not easy ever anymore. Like, it got to the point where it's like brutal. And it's like, what are we doing here? Maybe it's time to take a little minute, and I feel like I did what was right for my family.
This one talked about us on our podcast for 30 minutes, which I will say, like, it's so funny when people talk to me about like storylines and needing to talk about like my in-laws and like your sister and all of these things. And it's like, I really haven't said a word since the finale, other than like when we have No Choice at BravoCon. It's like, it's just not like, I need to turn it off, right? And then I'm listening and reading these like quotes and things that are coming in, and I'm like, like literally speaking about me, like my cast members on multiple podcasts, on their own podcasts, you know, even for instance, like Teresa speaking about me on her own podcast, for over 30 minutes. And I'm just like, why am I if I did that, she or anyone that listens to us would never let us live it down.
Melissa, can you please tell your sisters, your mom, your aunt to not tweet about me?
They don't tweet about you.
I've seen it, okay?
Show it to me. Then you show it to me.
And
the thing
they
is,
don't tweet
about
about
you
Melissa,
ever. They say nothing but positive things.
Melissa,
to
you
my
can
husband.
either say
ever.
Listen,
they would never.
Please girls, tell them not to get involved.
You
Teresa,
show it to
you
me
have
and
a
then I'll bring
problem.
it to them.
Okay. Listen to me. You have a problem. Let's solve the problem. Okay. You have a choice to either say, listen, I cannot control what my sisters or my mother do. If they tweet about you,
But they don't.
There's so many rumors out there right now, especially about me for some reason.
I feel like when I see a t-shirt that says like a huge Gucci on it or a huge Versace on it, like I get it, you're wearing designer, but every t-shirt looks like that. Like, do you feel like this is like a Jersey
I don't
thing?
know if it really is, because she did get fined and did have to go to court. She was sued by Chanel. I'm going to go with, that was a faux Gucci shirt, and that was a wonderful rendition of a faux shirt. And if she wants to show me the receipt, I'll just say, okay.
I have never read more nonsense. Like, it's to the point now where we're like giggling at home, and Joe's like, oh my God, look what they said I did today.
Good morning, Michael. Real Housewives star Joe Gorga finding himself in the hot seat this morning for what some say are not so real claims that he's posted on social media.
Gonna say Gorga!
I told you one day I put my name in lights.
He's the boisterous brother of Teresa Giudice on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Joe Gorga finding himself in a new fight this morning, being accused of faking a before and after photo for his real estate business on social media. Gorga frequently shares photos of home renovation projects with his followers on Instagram, even promoting a real estate seminar. In a now deleted post, Gorga posting this before and after photo of a house he says he flipped, writing, "Look at this flip worth $1.9 million. Took me 6 months to turn this around. Ripped off the roof and added to the second floor. I think I might move in." The only problem, Callie Svensson says the after photo is her house and was never renovated by Gorga.
It was a new construction. The foundation was new. Everything about it was new. It was built from the ground up.
Not only is the after photo not one of Gorga's projects, the house in the before photo still looks just like this. According to Realtor.com, that one last sold just a few months ago. Svensson says she reached out to Gorga via Instagram to ask him to take down the post of his supposed renovation, but he never responded.
We felt like he was using our house to advertise his business, and can't be making mistakes like that. You have to make sure that you check your facts and anything you put out there is true.
Now, Gorga eventually deleted that post and he declined to comment. But a source close to the reality star tells ABC News Gorga's social media manager shared it by mistake, and that even though he never spoke to the homeowners directly, he did work with a group of investors to help fund the construction of that home. As for the Svensons, they say mistakes like that should not happen, and he should be more careful in the future. I see some skeptics here.
And I'm like, look at me today. Like, I'm like, what's going on? He's like,
at least you take it like that.
no, what are you going to do? Cry? They say the most ridiculous things.
There's a sledgehammer, Joe. Go get it. I paid
rent, you loser.
The state paid you.
Years.
The state paid you.
Nowhere to live, and I gave
no, the state paid. I paid you. You're saying I owe you for 4.5 years. Paid you. Paid you. I got you. I can't pay my rent. Unlike you. Get the here. I'm calling the cops.
It's been 4 years.
I owe you from January till now. How? With what?
You pay, why?
With what?
What do you mean?
Why? Because I'm not like you. I don't have money. I got nothing to worry about. Drugs? What drugs, Joe? Where? Where? Where's the drugs?
Some money right
Look
now.
at the car I'm driving. It's falling apart. Drugs, you got.
Call me daddy.
Yeah. You what?
Because I've been just supporting you for 4.5 years.
No, you got paid.
I think I'm getting flattered at this point. I'm just like, wow,
There's
okay.
an old saying, talk about me bad, talk about me good, but talk about me.
I know.
You know, Mae West.
There's no bad press.
Actually, that was Mae West.
That's right.
I
love that. Well, yeah. So for some reason, they're going hardcore. You know, like we said, the fans are like their favorites. So it is what it is, and you take it with a grain of salt, and you just like keep on moving, you know?
What happened? Like, how did you get here? I went through a lot of stuff last year because Margaret brought out an infidelity that my husband had. She wanted to, like, deem me a hypocrite.
I do feel like you always try to, like, slut shame her and make her feel ashamed for anything she's lived.
She called me a f***ing concubine, okay?
A
concubine? I'm not a mistress, honey. That's you. If you haven't
a concubine by definition
no, by definition,
is a woman
Merriam-Webster, where are you at? By definition, it's a mistress.
Lesser value than their husband.
Lesser value that is not married to the man she sleeps with. That's not me, honey. That's you. She's like, oh, because you've constantly come after me for being a cheater. Meanwhile, you're with a cheater.
Brielle from South Orange, New Jersey said, Jennifer, you said Margaret boasting about her behavior was a trigger for you. But why do you hate the woman who cheats and give your husband a pass?
That's what I want to know.
I love my husband. I don't love the other woman. I'm entitled to forgive my husband, and him I have a foundation with. I didn't blame her. No, I didn't blame her.
You did.
I didn't blame her. I blame both of them.
Pharmaceutical company to get her fired.
Now that I would do it again.
Okay,
honey.
Jennifer, can I talk to you over here, please?
You absolutely can.
You've been talking about me through the whole party.
I'm talking about you to try to get you to where we are right now.
I tried to talk to you at the roller rink. You walked away from me twice.
You weren't making eye contact with me. You didn't seem like you wanted to talk to me. And the last time we were together and I was just telling you just a glimpse of how I felt, your instinct was just to be like, oh, okay, then I don't like you. You brought it to the show and it became a whole freaking thing because you said something.
This thinks I told you to do that.
I just want to know. Don't call me a Are you kidding? Relax.
I can't.
What do you mean I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Auntie,
you're out of your mind.
I'm not an answer.
No,
you
Frank,
answer. You're deflecting.
Her.
And I was just like, dude, like, I'm trying to, like, tell you.
You've told so many people, Jennifer, that I haven't been a good friend to you. And
that's how I feel.
Loyalty was broken because why did she listen to Margaret? She should have came.
Teresa, if you haven't realized by now that Dolores is a better friend to Margaret, you need to open your eyes. I know you've been friends with her longer, but her friendship with Margaret is stronger.
I loved you, and you couldn't even have the decency to say what Margaret did to me was wrong. You sided with everybody else.
I didn't side with everybody.
You
really?
said that I'm not defendable.
You're not.
Okay, noted. So I'm not defendable.
But I still do it. But I still do it. You know what? You and I don't agree on what a friend is.
We totally don't. I'm nice, you're not. We're good.
I don't like to instigate things. I like for things to calm down and I'll speak my piece because emotional people don't carry, they're not rational. It's not, emotions do not follow rational channels. They just don't. So when somebody wants to calm down, then I'm going to talk to you. Otherwise, I could get violent. I could get nasty when things are like that. And, well, you know.
I think we all were. I was upset but impressed at how much you just kind of like kept your composure at this premiere.
Well, that's because I don't have the weight of the world on me anymore. Like, he takes a lot of stuff.
We have a love bubble.
Yeah, I'm in a love bubble. you know,
A love pot.
I know, Melissa Gorga. I know. But, you know, I have somebody in my life that off camera takes a lot of heat off me on things. I've always had, I've been divorced 25 years. And I've raised 2 kids by myself. And I've had a lot of responsibilities on my plate. And sometimes there was a lack of patience for things because of everything that I had on top of me. So I was able to let you know, it might have saved Jennifer's life this season that I had somebody in my...
I think I actually did save Jennifer's life.
Back to the other person that's on team Take Care of Me, Dolores.
Dolores.
Well, Dolores would say that because Dolores literally has Frank taking care of them before the divorce and since the divorce.
Frank is a tough act to follow for a man.
Yeah.
And, you know, here you got this like Frank's a good looking guy. And him and I are very close. It takes a really secure man to handle that. And David is a very secure man and loves our relationship. So I think Frank, for that reason, like wants me to be with someone who accepts him also.
And then she has another man who she'll date, or now is David, and he'll take care of her too.
Not every man can handle Frank Catania walking in with tattoos, 25-inch arms, saying to David, you look like you could fit, like, are you wearing Frankie's underwear? Like when he was 10, like. There's a time to move on from things. Mm-hmm. And it was not like for any reason, you know, I'm sure he has nothing bad to say about me. I have nothing bad to say about him, but.
We have a movie theater. We have a basketball court.
We're gonna go now.
Give me this.
Okay, fine.
So you're gonna help yourself.
Let's go find your brother.
And I have water or Coke.
No,
or...
water's fine.
Water's fine. Okay.
I actually wanted to ask you, how are you feeling after the calendar shoot? I kind of was in the crossfires with you and Dolores.
Teresa, I don't want to have anything to do with that.
Hi. Hey, babe.
How are you?
Good. Look who I got here.
Hi. We want to know how everything went with Margaret.
You know, it's hard because we were close, but there was a side of you last year that was just so cutting and hurtful.
Did she ask you about that girl, Laura?
No.
Who's Laura?
Well, Laura is Margaret's ex-best friend.
So, okay, let's get into this whole mess. Basically, there has been several rumors going around, and I think some of them are involving your name, which we're going to be talking about it. Another one's involving Margaret. And I think the essence of everything, you know, it comes from the fact that you used to be very good friends with Margaret Joseph. According to what we have been hearing out there, you were friends for, I think, over 30 or 40 years. Is that right?
Yes, we were friends since we were 12 years old, but we were steady friends for probably the past 10 years.
Wow. Okay. I did a little bit of a stalking on your Instagram, and I could see like you were very close. You spent Thanksgivings together. You spent birthdays together. Like there was definitely a good friendship. Like you were literally like family. Am I right?
Of course. I'd be lying if I said that we weren't. We spent the holidays together. We were very close. And I really loved her and Joe. They were family to me.
They had some sort of falling out, and this Laura was trying to get in touch with me and Teresa to just tell us stuff.
To lay dirt on our ex-best friend?
Isn't that wild?
Are you
I
serious?
was very suspicious of the whole thing.
It's not a secret. You definitely had a fallout, right, with Margaret recently. And that's what's going to initiate this whole like wave of rumors. What can you tell us about that fallout? What happened there?
Okay, so that fallout happened last December. And contrary to what people are saying, it is not because I didn't get on the show. We did not fight because of that. There were different things that happened, but in December, her and I had a disagreement about the way I felt she treated me. And, you know, I don't think it's a secret. She never thinks she's wrong and rarely apologizes. And we were going to a party that she had invited me to, and she texted me one morning to say that she was canceling our trip to a doctor because she had to get a COVID test for a party that she was going to on Friday night. That being the party that I was going to with her. So I responded back saying, I don't know if you remember, but you invited me to that party. And we went back and forth, and I felt like she was totally disregarding me, thinking she just didn't have to even let me know that I was no longer invited because our husbands had plans that were canceled. But it wouldn't be unusual that sometimes our husbands weren't even together and I would still go places with Margaret. It didn't mean that I wasn't uninvited. So we went back and forth, and there was a lot of talk back and forth about why and how, and it was really getting convoluted, and that wasn't what I was trying to say. What I was just trying to say was that I felt like she just was disregarding me. And instead of agreeing to disagree and just say, hey, you know, maybe I didn't really acknowledge her feelings and apologize to me, she didn't. And what she did do was tell me that we needed a break a week before Christmas, a little bit more. And that was the end of it.
Did she talk about anybody else or just Margaret?
Okay, so let's move on into the rumor number 2, which is the cheating allegations of Melissa Gorga. So the first rumor was that the first rumor, was that a friend of Margaret, meaning you, has caught Melissa cheating in New York, right? That was the first thing. Then it kind of like changed into Margaret being the one who caught them, and then she told you, and then you went and tell that to Teresa and Jennifer. So just clarify for everyone what really happened. Did you saw anything? Did Margaret saw anything? Who saw it, and what really happened?
So what I said was that Margaret told me that Melissa was caught by someone else in a car kissing someone. Margaret was not even there, but that she discussed it with Melissa.
We're both silent.
Oh, wait. Oh. Okay.
You just came into my world, a little boy without a girl. You just smiled at me. It's been weeks that were up there. We made love so sweet and pure, and then I knew you were. Where's the man I caught you now? With the heart of I was gone. You just turned me out and walked out the door. How could you just be so cold? What a hard and heavy blow. Now I'm lying here alone on the floor.